I have 1,000,001 ideas, but I always let the deadline for submission pass me by. I've been torturing myself for months, trying to come up with a unique design, but nothing seems right. The fact that this is the last book in the series makes it that much more important. You better. You've got this thing on lockdown. Elizabeth's faith in me is unwavering, despite the fact that I've never actually had any paid graphic artist work. I glance over to my long-forgotten drafting table, now housing junk mail and yet-to-be-folded laundry. I haven't used it or any of my hundreds of dollars worth of design software since I gave up on starting my own graphic design business a couple years ago. In the 6 short months after I dropped out of college, I realized selling my art meant selling a piece of my soul with it. I was a used car salesman every time I tried for a commission. I'm really talented, I swear. Trust me. Rejection after rejection poured in until I just stopped trying. After a long morning of slinging coffee, doodling cover designs is all I have the energy for. You've read every one of his books, what, like a dozen times? Elizabeth asks. Her books, and at least a dozen, I correct her. No one really knows who E.B. Jericho is. She's a notorious recluse, but Elizabeth and I have a standing bet on the author's gender. She goes with odds, seeing as how 75% of sci-fi writers are men. I am convinced E.B. is a woman. She's too clever and witty not to be. If we ever met, we'd be hetero life mates, instant besties for sure. All right, kiddos, I better get my beauty sleep. I blow a kiss at the screen. Night, Jackie, Austin's deep voice announces. Night. Love you, babe. Elizabeth chirps with a sweet smile. Love you too. I click off the camera, toss my glasses onto my desk, and shut down my computer. Stretching my arms up and taking a long, deep breath. I sweep my eyes over the design ideas splattering my walls again. Not one of them is good enough. It's so late, it's early, but my mind is still racing. The idea of submitting a design to be judged by someone I truly admire makes me nauseous. I grab my sketchbook and sprawl out in my tangled mess of an unmade bed. Closing my eyes, I picture Percy Rivera, the main character from E.B. Jericho's Sins of Tomorrow series. She's a space smuggler and the most kick-ass character of all time. She's standing tall in front of her ship, Phobos, a Hellhound-class light space cruiser. Her grease-stained cargo pants are tucked into lunar dust-speckled boots. Her father's old leather bomber jacket is zipped up to keep out the chill on the dark side of the deserted space rock where she's currently stowing cargo. The wind blows her raven black hair in thick waves behind her, and her pale skin appears nearly translucent. The low light from a distant sun glints off the laser pistol strapped to her hip. Her arms are crossed, and the edge of her mouth is quirked up in a devious challenge. She's the Dirty Harry of space. She wants you to try something, punk. In my mind, the sight is clear as day. I spring my eyes open and stare down at the blank page. 2 strokes of my pen, and it's already gone wrong. I rip the page out of my sketchbook, crumple it into a tiny ball, and toss it across the room with a huff. I try again, but I can't get the angle right for Phobos. She's an impressive ship, and I made her look like a bathtub toy. Another page ripped out. Another discarded failure. Over and over again, I doodle the same intergalactic scene until my eyelids get heavy and I pass out in a heap of crumpled paper. The obnoxious beeping of my alarm startles me awake. With a loud groan and a quick kick, I send the institutionalized torture device flying across the room. The beeping gets softer, sadder, before finally stopping. I'm the wrong way round in my bed on top of the covers. I pick my head up and the crinkling of paper echoes in my ear. I stare down at my latest creation, the sleek starship smudged and ruined with my drool. Great. I swipe the whole mess into a pile on the floor. I'm back asleep before I can regret the half-conscious decision. Untold hours later, I'm stirred awake again by the less than gentle but very familiar poke of a wooden cane in my side. I push it away and roll over, but the poking persists.